How are you holding up? Any news?
Nah, not really. That is, yes, I had to lock up that drunkard from the Nomad last night. You should have heard him. He was rambling on and on about how the aged man's manor apparently just vanished into
You're an
thin air.
Outlander, aren't you?
Crazy,
I
isn't
can tell.
it?
But I've heard the same thing. You know Lambert, that's from the Sun Coast. He was patrolling the Sun
Ahoy.
Coast last week, and it's true. The man is gone. Just like that.
Huh? But that's strange. Let the Arcanist find out what's behind this. Keep your chin up, friend. I'll see you in the barracks. Anything for friends to pass.
And enough eavesdropping on the randoms. Welcome back, everybody. 'Tis I, BogMod. Last time, I wonder. Oh, Sixhoof in the Dark Valley, especially evil and cunning of Vatir. Sure, I'll kill it. But, hello, chicken. Last time, let's go to the map so I can point out what happened. Last time we had the wonderful traveling trip. We went up, we traveled to Frostcliff Tavern. We took the road, past the cavern, or the cabin. I tried to mountain goat. Didn't work in my favor, despite my best efforts. Died a couple times. Then we actually took the proper way, and I went to Agnod, the starship. I know. And there was a betrayal there. And I feel we should resolve the betrayal of the Starling Lady. Because I can forgive a lot of things, except for my attempted murder and betrayal. No. That's a no. That's a bad Starling. Alright, so
Yes?
yeah, she took like I guess like an antimatter power core, because that was a thing they had. Now I got to explain to this guy. Oh no! Oh no! There appears to have been a bit of a struggle. His robot got smashed. I guess he will not be achieving immortality anytime soon. Well. I think this calls for a job for Mr. Greatsword. But I mean, now that we're here, I might as well pick around their stuff a bit. That's not a bad little home. But yeah, let's go resolve the issue of this.
Please, Pathira, this is
There we go.
madness. You don't know what you're doing there.
Oh, believe me, I do. More than you ever did. Do you even realize how pathetic you are, Master? You... Ugh, great. I knew I shouldn't have taken chances.
You, by the ancient fathers, help me. Pathira, she controls him. You need to stop her.
I think he figured that out by himself.
Yeah, I got the sword.
I guess it's time to test what this thing can do.
Stop Pratira.
This is good. This is really good.
Yes, good elemental. Distract her.
But no, it's coming.
Alright, well, that was... You did good, Mr. Elemental. You did good. I'm gonna loot your corpse, though. And that's why never betray me. Ever. There you are.
By the stars! This was bloody unnecessary! Why did she do that? I just don't get it.
Yes, let's start with this.
Dead? No, but inactive. Her consciousness is still linked to Horst, his soul, if you will. She did it. She actually did it. Foolish girl. She always was too impulsive.
Alright, well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened.
People back to glory? By the stars, how stupid can a person be? We are starlings, damn it, not bloody imperialists. We live to quest, to fulfill the prophecies, not to... You see, this is what happens when a juvenile zeal meets powerful technology. She was always snappy, but I really didn't see that coming. Anyway, I suppose I have to do it all again. Disassemble Horst, retrieve his consciousness core, and then put him back together. Then I'll think about what to do with Pathira. Maybe I'll transfer her into something else. I've always wanted a talking paperweight. Just a joke.
Well, I mean... Can he?
Of course, I'm not a murderer, but when that time comes, I will make sure to have a dozen guards beside me. She can look forward to some nice months in prison, and then she can go look for another master. Stupid girl. So much potential wasted. Heh. But, save for the drama, you did a good job. I now have all that I need, and Pathira proved that the transfer, the apotheosis, is possible. In that regard, thank you. You will get your reward and Pathira's share
Woo!
of it.
Double cash!
Here, take this key. Back in the lobby, you'll find a small casket right beside the fireplace. What's in there is yours. Again, thank you.
I mean, I did save your life. A perfect thorium sword. Am I invisible? I think he can see me. Curses! It's fine, we can come back. I wonder where her body is. Anyone seen a Pathira body? Ooh, I can take that metal ingot apparently. Or maybe I can't. No, but seriously, where is her body then? Alright, well. I'll just go enjoy my treasure then. And remember, come back here later and rob it. By the fireplace, a casket. Ooh, there. Some metal ingots, set of the Ash Warrior. Yoink. Alright, let's put that down on the rob later list. Alright, well, that resolves that. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I think, though,
Yes.
I think...
What are you doing here?
Let's go help Esme again. She's friendly. I like her. She's got her little quest. There's a mystery involved. Kate saying that I wish my neighbors asked me to plunder Starship in their quest for immortality. Yeah. Well, maybe. Ever thought that maybe you just have you live in the wrong neighborhood? Instead of that, you just get cats. I mean, that's a pretty good trade-off, I think. Whee! Now, I believe... Ah, yes, we need to meet with Dejam still, but we'll put that one off. Like I said, we're doing, we're gonna help out Esme. Oh yeah, I killed the Triceratops. Examine Craig and for evidence. Search for Callie the Temple. Report to Aaron Thale. There we go. Meet Esme in Duneville. Did you hear? In her first visit with a landlord, Liz's brother had as a landlord who, in the first serious conversation with her, said, "Did you hear they moved Venus?" That feels like there's a bit of context to that. They moved Venus.
Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you? I bet you've got a lot of stories to tell.
What? Oh, yes, certainly.
She always seems so unsure about selling me things. And what's my... 14's fine. QAnon Flat Earther stuff. I see. My favorite random conspiracy is that, what was it, Finland doesn't exist?
Yes?
It's just water between it and Russia. Between, like, Sweden and Russia. Fine.
What will we...
Fine, here's 10 pennies.
Thank you. You truly are a good person.
I am! Now, I need to travel by Myrad.
Walk blessed.
Walk blessed, Fred. Sure. Where to?
I need to go to the Duneville. Remember, this creature evolved from a bird. Apparently. That's what the High One said. I'm not sure I believe them. But apparently it did. Be on the lookout for warships. There we go. That way. Whee! Oh.
Just make no trouble.
How are you holding up? Everything all right?
Aye, I can't complain. Did you hear the news? Word has it Captain Rossio landed here just a few moons ago.
Oh, really? Where'd she come from?
Miri. Say she traversed the Eridan Canal without losing as much as one man.
That woman's got guts. You have to give her that.
Aye, she does. But that's about it. I talked to them. Apparently they caught two stowaways during the passage.
Hey, wait a minute.
Killed them both. They were refugees.
They're talking about me and the captain on the I stowed away on.
Living, yes. Anyway, I'm off. Keep your chin up, girl.
Keep your chin up.
She's dead. Dead. Come back here. Where are you? Dead.
Ahoy.
Dead. And I'm alive.
An outlander. Isn't this nice?
Alright. I'm gonna go up this way to find good old Esme. Esme, I'm coming to help you. Because I'm a good guy. And there's probably some reward in it for me, like money. There she is. She's got some friends.
Blazes, how stupid are you?
Wait a minute.
Give us that fucking trinket or we'll take it from your dead body.
Ahem.
Oh, thank the seven. Hey!
Hello.
You're here!
So you made some friends.
Just great.
I will kill you all.
I know. You're dying to help that poor Eterna girl. But believe me, that's a bad idea. Just mind your fucking business and we'll let you go.
You know what? I've got rhetoric. I met Leorin's more intimidating.
You.
Hang on, drop it. We should go.
What?
Shut the fuck up and let's go.
This isn't over, cunt.
Hey, language. This is a family stream. That's right. You get going. I mean, to be fair, if this guy walked up to you with his elemental goon, you'd be really like, I'm gonna pick a fight with that man.
Shit. Shit. What the hell just happened?
First things first, are you okay?
I'm sorry. I know
What
I
the?
shouldn't have
That's
done
not what I clicked.
that innkeeper. But there
Nope,
is good
nope,
news, too.
nope.
Well, 7 people.
I know.
Arrested. Yeah.
I don't.
Seven.
Nope. It's quiet.
The wrong kind of people.
Quiet.
They tore up the
Shush.
Then,
Quiet.
the rich man
Quiet,
died.
Ismay.
Seems likely, doesn't
Nope.
it? Exactly. All that happened 2 weeks ago. My thoughts here. This is where.
That's not what I clicked.
Move along.
Quiet, you. This area kind of reminds me of that desert level in Diablo 3. I don't know why.
Blazes, how stupid are you? Give us that fucking trinket or we'll take it from your dead body.
Oh, thank the seven.
Me.
Over here!
Great.
Hello. Hello.
Great. I know. You're dying to help that poor Eterna girl. But you.
Hang on, drop it. We should go.
What?
Good idea.
Shut the fuck up and let's go.
This
Look at you guys. You got like a giant belt to hold your pants, and then look at me. All right.
Shit. Yeah.
There we go.
I think
That's what I meant to say.
that innkeeper, Daljan, told me it'd be safe if I didn't go too far from the cave entrance. Those bandits, they followed me, and I always thought this country was easier on our kind. You live and learn. There is good news, too.
Yay! Tell me more.
Well, while I was waiting, I asked around a bit. Some of the sailors told me that there had been a strange group that had stopped in Duneville recently. 7 people, all dressed in gray robes.
There we go.
Yeah, and they caused quite the ruckus. Apparently one of them voluntarily gave the innkeeper a pouch full of gold for a handful of provisions. Sadly, the wrong kind of people got wind of it and tried to rob the group afterwards. Yeah, one of the group's women must have been a mage or something. She tore the bandits apart with the flick of her finger. They stayed for one more day while they stocked up and prepared for an expedition. Then, the rich man gave all his money to the miners and they left, apparently to the north. That seems likely, doesn't it? Exactly. And you want to know something else? All that happened 2 weeks ago. Do you understand? Tara was here just a fortnight ago.
Yeah, I don't think I want to tell her that I have a bad feeling. Let's
My
go
thoughts
find
exactly. Here, this is where we should find that ruin. It's a bit of a hike, but if we leave now, we should be there soon.
her. Alright.
You lead the way.
Up in Old Ishmartep, eh? Alright. Okay, we can go to Old Ishmartep. Something that I've kind of noticed about Enderal, or at least kind of comes, it feels like Enderal feels empty in a lot of ways. And I don't mean like, there's obviously stuff all over the place, but I mean like,
There. That should be the ruin.
okay. But I mean like, the place feels like it's built on, you know, that it's, you know, 5 days past the apocalypse in some ways.
Here we are. You lead the way, okay?
Like, this is less a thriving nation and more one city on an island. I think I went through here before. And I was randomly exploring. Tomb Guardians are new. I don't think I remember them. One down.
That's strange.
I didn't mean to stare at this angle. There we go. Yeah, but why would ARPS be over here?
I guess. But let's push on.
That's correct. Oh, you mean regarding it being like 5 days past the apocalypse type deal? But I've only encountered the ARPs in the west. Hey, buddy. Ow. Stab you in the back. That's rude. Very rude. As you got that. You, my elemental, you guys have this. I believe in you. Alright, I'll help. Yeah, no, it's an odd feel to the place at times. Because you're supposed to kind of get the feeling, oh yeah, this is supposed to be, I mean, yeah, there's troubles in the world, but these were thriving civilizations that have been growing, for centuries. There's a reason for that feeling. Oh. Well then, excellent storytelling on their part then. Ezra's a pretty useless fighter by the standard companions of the game. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. She's not a fighter. Right? She's a performer. She is a thespian. I'm gonna enjoy my bread. Not everyone has to be, the best. Ooh. Second breath, rank 4. Okay. Ah, good. Yeah, Kate just saying that she likes that aspect of Esme, that in that she's portrayed as someone, this isn't some trained warrior or anything like that. No powerful mage, no witch with unnatural demon powers. Just a person, and she's doing the best she can. Yeah, that's a good point. When if she could totally have just killed those bandits who are threatening her, it changes the context of the whole experience quite a bit. Than if, she was legitimately glad that you came down to save her ass. I've got my summoning fingers ready. Oh, hello. Turn a shield. Don't need that, but I'll take it. Dream Eater rank 4. Rank 2 summon Soil Elemental? Soil Elemental of level 43. Yoink and yoink. And powers. And there we are. Nope. And I'm going to set that to my button 4. Oh. So elementals, much superior to mud elementals. Much superior. Oh, another one of those lady statues.
What the?
Yeah, I know. Showing off a lot of leg. Ooh, and a wheel of cheese.
Robes. Like the ones in Doll Mercer's
Oh,
house.
I just thought they were rocks.
Why? Where are the cultists? And where's Tara?
Let's try and stay positive.
Got their robes? Don't be ridiculous.
It could be an orgy.
We need to have a look around.
Let's
Come on.
not, let's not put off the idea that it could be an orgy. Okay, bloody rags, bloody rags. Bloody rags. Okay, I'm starting to think less and less it might be an orgy. Oh, here we are. Had the vision.
All know that feeling. Everything is going to be all right.
Fear is a phantasm conjured by our own mind. You are afraid of a pain that won't come. She promised. Tara!
Oh.
Child,
Mistress, we...
you are afraid, are you not?
Yes,
What is it that you fear?
I don't know. Death?
You are afraid of dying. But that is not what will happen. None of you will. On the contrary. You will become part of something greater.
Oh, that sounds like...
Death is man's purpose. In the face of time, his life is but a flicker. No more than the batting of an eyelash. And his existence is pointless. Born to die, in a world revolving around the same vice.
This sounds like a speech that is going to lead to their death.
The same personalities, trapped in an endless cycle. You, however, you are different. You are prepared to give your spark for something greater than yourself. You are on the verge of doing something meaningful. Something real.
Meaningful to you. We are sacrificing ourselves so that you can live.
You believe that I need your spark to exist, but you err. I do exist with or without you. And if you refuse, Tara, then this is how it shall be. You are not here because I forced your hand. You never were. You are here because, for once in your life, you want to do something with purpose. Something that matters. Your souls are too frail for peace, and stagnation poisons your minds. I am the watcher of the game. I have been for eons, since the beginning of time, when from darkness came light. I do not judge. I do not feel. I merely preserve the underpinnings of your world.
Then it will always continue like that. Eternal conflict. Eternal cycles.
The prospect of this saddens you. But you
She sounds kind of like one of the high ones.
In every desert, there's a black grain of sand among a billion others.
What do you mean?
Every battle is a new chance. Nobody knows if man will ever overcome his nature, but one day he might. But until that day arrives, she needs to do what she does, else this world would drown in chaos. And this is our purpose, Tara, don't you see? To give her a part of our essence so that she can wander this world.
But she just said she didn't need it.
You can go and be yet another meaningless drop of water in the stream of existence, or you can do something that matters. The choice is yours.
I'm gonna save. Because I have a feeling Esme might not like some of the things I'm about to tell her. Ooh.
just isn't possible. They have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Gone. What do you mean? How do you know?
Well, actually, there's not enough robes, so maybe.
What's that supposed to mean? Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. These visions. How certain are you that they're accurate?
I'm like 60% certain if I gotta be honest, like 60%.
No. No, I don't buy it. Tara wouldn't do something like this. Not for some group of deranged lunatics. Never.
Yeah, I don't think that it necessarily
Something
matters.
That mattered? This? God damn it. And what about us? What about all those years we spent together?
Yeah.
Didn't they matter too?
I think they did. I think they mattered more.
Right by the 7, wasn't that enough? Why couldn't you just be happy for once in your fucking life? I just don't get it.
Kate, what's the button to hug Esme in this game? Because I feel like I want to press the hug button. Where's my hug Esme button? There should be a hug Esme button. I'm gonna go with I'm sorry. It seems kind of like... like, you know, she's clearly hurt and sad. And all of these three just seem like, hey, I know you're feeling bad, but let's rationalize this pain away. And that's the wrong approach, I think, right now. Sorry.
I'm not. And do you know why? She had it all. For fuck's sake.
Oh, apparently there's no hug Esme button.
Idea what some people are actually going through out there? Day in, day out, they have to fight for their survival. But her, she had it all. A roof over her head. Food, money, people to whom she meant the fucking world. But no, that wasn't enough. It was always about herself, even this. She never wasted a bloody minute even thinking about what it would do to me. Tara, Tara, Tara. It was always about you, and you alone. Something real. Bullshit. This was all about feeding her ego. The ever so sad looking Eterna girl with the watery eyes. Fuck the rest, right? Fuck what your stupid sadness does to the people around you.
Oh, I feel real bad for Esme.
I need to go. This is too much. This is just too much.
I'm sorry. Oh, poor Esme. Poor Esme! That said, I mean... give Esme some time. Maybe. I mean, with the number of robes. And I mean, give her time, so I'm going to investigate. I mean, there might still be loot. And if there is loot, I think Tara would have wanted me to collect it. Oh, there it is. There's my soil elemental. Yes. Kid's saying, this honestly broke me to play through. No, I can well understand. I can definitely understand that sentiment. Anything disenchant right now? Nope. Oh no! Ooh, I almost fell off the edge. Oh, see? Go, my superior! A soil elemental. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Be better than the mud guy. Oh, there you go. See? Whoa. Yes! Blast them with lightning! Good. Good. Good, Elemental. And then he activated the traps. Yeah. Let's finish investigating this room. Of course, there are apparently traps. Stabby traps. Stabbing traps. Ah, come on. Yeah. The Mud Elemental definitely would have just gone and stood in the corner and done nothing. Ever since that first Mud Elemental, way back in the beginning of the game, I should have learned. Mud Elementals, you can't trust them. They'll just hide out and be like, I'm sad. I don't want to fight. Go! I'm gonna need a potion, though. Try to light you on fire. Thank you. Also, I love how he just kind of runs around with his hands up in the air, being like, yeah! Let's do this! Possibly he likes the YMCA. That's also an option. Alright, now how do I get up there? Oh, see? Look at him! He's on his way up! My Mud Elemental wouldn't have done that. Good boy! It is rank 2, yes. He's level 43. My Mud Elemental was only level 30. So not only do they have a very different attitude about life, but much better. What do we got? More mushrooms. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of these weird shrooms. I don't like how they look. Esme will understand, I'm sure. Bloop. She needs space. And what better way to give her space than by, you know, giving her space. Old Ismortep nest. Oh, I don't know if I know what's in here. Alright, you know what? Preemptive summoning of the elemental. Oh. They're fighting spiders down there. Well, I mean, so long as they're fighting spiders and not me. Hey, Mr. Spider. I know. You just want to go and kill, don't you, Mr. Soil Elemental? Should I let them just kill each other? Oh, hey, buddy. What the? How'd I get over here? Aw, you stuck up there, buddy? I'm sorry. I'll bring you down here. Oh, hello. Oh. One guy left. Alright, well that should be them. Spider's dead, Arp's dead. Ooh, there's a map of the world. Kile! That's where we're from. Moonstone! I'm gonna mine that. I think I killed them all. I'm gonna turn a sword. What the? Oh, there. Shield the righteous path. I turn a sword. Burial halls. Go, elemental of soil. Yeah, take them on. Oh, you're so much better than the mud elementals. To think, you're mostly made of the same stuff. You know, it's like... Oh, too much gear. Dang it. Well, first of all, let's eat my bread. And my cheese wheel. Look at that. That's very fancy. So many mushrooms. Killing 15 extras is maybe a bit much. Ha! I disagree. And I'm sure Noelle would disagree as well. And hello, Sphere? Sphere added to inventory. Okay. It's a sphere, all right. I got a glowy sphere, Kate. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, right. I need to enchant my sword some more. Yes. Now it is full of fiery potency. I really hope Esme wasn't like, I'm gonna leave, but then I'm gonna just, wait by the entrance. Talk to him when he comes out. Oh, a sphere to open a door. Alright. Hey, guys. And elemental. Yes. And I'm immune to your shenanigans. Maybe. Maybe I'm not. And stop that. Thank you. I'm gonna eat my cream pie. Oh. 2 spheres. I feel like that's a good sign. Alright, 1 down. Two down. Aww. Oh, wait. Now, when I kill you... Yes. I got a greater soul. Door is not far off. Excellent! Well, that's handy. Take that scroll and an arrow. Ooh. 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 I'm gonna save. Because I don't want to have to go through all that again. We're entering a vault, everybody! Oh, I can't wait to get my Pip-Boy. I don't like the look of this place. Bring up my elemental. Oh. Something's gonna come out of here. Hey, buddy. Ismartep. Hey, buddy. And you're dead. I mean, it was a little unfair of me. I did maim your face as you opened as you came out. So you know, I'm gonna take the blame on that one. That's on me. Let's drop 3 of my extra swords. Let's drop 1 more extra sword. Could he have been a Pyrean that had maintains his life somehow? Because these giant floating crystals randomly in the doorway make me suspicious. I need to drop a few more of... a couple more swords. Hello. Shock claws. Uh-oh. What if I were a werewolf? So that'd be very handy. Poor Ishmartep. He was a pirate. Aha! Powder Desert. Alright, there we go. Success! Old Ishmartep. There we go. Give Esme some time. Oh, alright. Well, we're going to head back to Ark. And I'm going to refill my drink because I'm a little thirsty. Did I notice he was huge? He was fairly large, yes. But I wasn't sure if that was maybe because he'd, you know, done something to himself. Because he was a zombie. I want my drink. Thirsty from working all day. Do 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 do.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. From this day on, there's war. Without a word of warning, the Pathless Nevergaze attacked our city in an act of infinite cowardice. They had led their warships into our holy waters and landed on our coast.
Oh!
And it is naught but blood that they are looking for. Blood, war, and misery. But as if breaking the 1,000-year-old peace between the countries of the civilized world wasn't enough,
The Herald's updated what he's talking about.
Be wary of their words, for they are naught but lies. The Lightborn are there, as they have always been. And with their guidance, the Holy Order shall crush the Neremese heretics.
Kind of reminds me of in East 8. You happen to at some point encounter
Tell me what you need and be quick.
you know, they're people. They're ancient civilization people who turn out to be dinosaur people. Hey, it's a golden statue. Ah, it's a classy golden statue because, of course, it's got boobs. And that, as we all know, is a sign of real art. Alright. You have only 2 pennies left. We'll leave you.
Walk black. Sure. Take a look.
I don't need petty soul gems.
Walk blessed.
But yeah, in the game, East 8, the ancient civilization people, who look very human, are actually dinosaur people, and actually also giants.
Looking for steel. Everything for the path.
They're all like 10 feet tall. You meet one of them. She happens to be a midget amongst her people, so she's like, 6 foot. Sell. I want to sell you. Ah, yes, my 14 Graveguard shields. The helmet of Righteous Langskenet. Shield of the Righteous Path. My 7 Silver Seal swords. The Snake Bow. You're a bit poor. I could buy some stuff off you. 3 two-handed books if you have it.
Everything for the path abiding soldier.
There we are. I have maxed out my two-handed sword skill.
Everything for the path abiding soldier.
And now he should be able to afford all of the things I want to sell him. That's worth 1,300 pennies. I guess I need, what, 2 heavy armor?
Everything for the path abiding soldier.
There we are. Now the tailor will buy my magical doodadery, assuming he has the coin.
Oh, hello there. Walk bless all your heart could ever desire. Take a look. May his light guide you.
All right.
Come back if you find it.
Now throw my set items into my box.
My sir?
Face of the Tracker. Hood of the Tribunal. There we go. Alright. So, we're giving Esme time. You know what? Let's chat with Dejam in the False Dog. The False Doggo. And I believe that is in the Undercity. Kate suspecting that the leaders of the Pyrians were demi-giants. Maybe they made themselves big with their magical science. Greta ear candy. Okay.
Yes.
The Shrouded Mage.
Fair enough. Maybe there's a trick or two I could show you, but trust me, they don't come cheap.
Anything interesting? Oh, summon Fire Elemental rank 2. Yeah. But my guy's 43. There it is. Yeah. I'll take the Soul Gem.
Well then. Bloody steel crabs. Always in the way of progress.
Main cavern? Okay. I don't think I've been to this doggo place. Rat. The false doggo. Alright. Dejam, dejam, dejam.
So, you came. I was already starting to wonder if that courier simply took off with the money. That would just perfectly round off my experience in this wonderful country.
Oh, she's a bit upset with
Take a
us.
seat and treat yourself. Drinks are on me.
I'm gonna sit down.
So... Let's cut to the chase. I want you to help me find the green Scarabaeus, the idol of Marala. And yes, I know we had our differences. Sorry for what I said to you back there in the sickle, but I was just so angry at that arrogant old fool of a guildmaster. You were only following your orders, and I understand why you didn't tell me what was going on.
Alright, you know what?
In any case,
all is forgiven then.
The Scarabaeus has been stolen, nullifies any potential business we could have done with the golden sickle. Simply put, there's no longer any reason for us to put up with DeLorean and his complicated character.
Well, I mean, if the sickle doesn't have it, what would she pay them for?
Oh yes, Chilean poison. The ingredients of which you could find here on Enderal in less than 2 days. So no, we didn't have anything to do with that ambush. Seriously, friend. If you were planning on maliciously murdering someone, would your plan include using his blood to smear your name all over his body? Come on. Even someone as prejudiced against us as DeLorean should have seen the absurdity of it.
I mean, you say that, but I remember a Star Trek episode in which the Romulans, you know, the sneaky faction of the Star Trek universe, tended to, one of their assassination tricks, use uniquely Romulan technologies. So, I mean, it could just be bad writing. I'm just saying.
Simply put, yes. But before you say anything, know that I have found out something else that changes the situation entirely. DeLorean is holding something back from you. Something vital. Before I tell you what it is, however, I want your promise that you will help me. I'm not asking you to betray anyone. Believe me, you're one of the few reasonable people around here.
Okay.
And helping me is the right thing to do. Please, I'm not making this up. I will tell you all I know once you've given me your promise.
Okay. What would be in it for me?
You think business. I like that. Rest assured, we pay better than the sickle ever would. And if this ends our way, we will make sure it won't be to your disadvantage. 2 things. Firstly, you will string DeLorean along. He must not learn about our agreement until the very end. Just ignore his appeals. Secondly, from now on, the 2 of us will work together. In every way.
Ooh. Well, again, like, I honestly, at this stage, I don't see how this is betraying the sickle at all. The sickle does not have the object in question. Thus, they have no reason to do business with the sickle. If they can find her golden what's-it without having to go through the sickle, that's on them. I agree. I don't think she had anything to do with it. Maybe I'm missing something in all this here. But, I mean, at this point, he hasn't given me any orders to collect the golden MacGuffin. So, yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear. So, where do we start? Yes, right. DeLorean. We have reliable information that it was DeLorean who was behind the ambush. This entire show, it was planned. He wants to put the blame on us so that he can keep both the Scarabaeus and the money.
Let's go with, where'd you get the information?
An internal source. We don't know their name, but he or she knows too much to be an outsider.
Okay. Why would he do that?
Did you really just ask that? Because he, as you undoubtedly have learned by now, hates every Chilean in this world, no matter who they are.
He is
These are greedy scum,
fairly
all of us.
racist, yes.
And because some idiot of a Chilean merchant somehow gambled away the idol of our goddess centuries ago to an Enderalian merchant, is to him the undeniable proof of our inferiority. Yes, he wants our money, but for no price on earth would he ever return the idol to us.
You do have a point.
I wish it were different. It would be so much easier if this place weren't swarming with idiots like him. Pretty much. But I like to consider myself a person of reason, which is why I need to be 100% sure.
You know, I've heard that I have to be completely sure line before.
There's a small hideout near the harbor, which is where the assassins you fought off at the ambush site hide. I want you to go there and search their camp for something that proves the Sickle's guilt in this.
That could be dangerous.
It could be, yes. Which is why I want you and no one else.
I mean, I did kick their butt before.
I've fought with scumbags before, and this time they won't be expecting you. Good. Here, I'll mark the location of the hideout on your map. Meet me here once you've found something. And thanks. I appreciate your help in this.
Alright, now, because it's the more complicated line, I'm going to go with the damsel in distress thing. That said, I don't think she will like it. I think she likes to think of herself as a capable person, not some damsel in distress. So I'm going to say hello. I'm going to use this.
Oh, sure.
Oh, she did.
Quite the damsel I am. But jokes aside, thank you.
All right.
I mean it.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe once all this is
She
over,
wasn't.
we can
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm a damsel.
I'd like that.
She took the compliment, as it were.
What lies
on the edge of a solitary cliff.
Speaking of the aged man.
Of death and pallid light illuminate the dark at night, gleaming out the windows of the aged man's abode.
What are you doing here? Go over someone else.
If you batter at his door, say farewell to the world. For everyone who entered never walked back on the road from the aged man's abode. Notorious of widespread fame, yet no one knows him by his name. The aged man in his abode on a solitary cliff.
So, I've always wondered, everyone seems to take the attitude of, yeah, he'll kill everybody who goes to visit him. But we know different. Hi. Alright. So. The plot thickens, as they say. We can investigate that later. I can giving Esme some time. Actually, let me do that. Do I want to do that? Old miscomer for the period artifact. The Lightborn don't like people learning about the previous cycles. Ah, I see. So it wasn't necessarily that the Aged Man was killing them, so much as the Lightborn were offing people who were finding things out? Or insisting... Okay, maybe, yeah. Could propaganda. Could be that, too. Yeah. Alright, let's go collect this artifact thing. For Trails of the Past. Reconstructing all Pyrian artifacts. I'm sure nothing is weird about collecting ancient Pyrian artifacts.
What do you want? To cock at me?
Hi.
Just leave.
Can I give you money?
Please.
Nope. Alright. Barracks. Residential barracks. A child. I believe actually the way out's here. The Vatir song is similar propaganda. Hey, to be fair, those Vatir are a bunch of jerks. There we go. The Myrad Tower. Actually, I don't think I've heard the Vatir song yet. I might have to go look it up separately. Those of you watching, by the way, wonderful music in this game. By all means, do look up just like the playlist for the songs in this.
Sir, walk blessed. Sure, where to?
It's their origin story. Oh, yes! I recall you mentioning, or is it the game that mentioned, the ARPs have an origin story that sounds a lot like it's a propaganda piece. Alright. So let's knock off this next adventure. To do that, I got to go north and then west. Bird! The ARP's origin is potentially even more interesting. Ooh, I like that. But I won't find evidence about the ARPs until the game is almost over. Fair enough? Ah, this is the place we passed by on our way to the Living Temple. It was all like, everyone burned to death in a horrible, horrible way from the light. And then we ran into, what's his name later on? The cultists, not the cultists, the Naramese guys. And they were like, no, we're going to evolve. It'll be great. There's no evidence that it was bad. Once you ignore all the weird burned out corpses and in all the Pyrian ruins. Oh, hey, Mr. Troll. 2 trolls. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. I cut that one a little close. Time to eat a pie. The power of pie. Now, let's go look around a little. Because sometimes where'd he go? There we go. See? And I leveled up. Well, it does cost a lot of mana to summon him, so I'm going to take another mana boost. So the veiled woman sounded a lot like one of the high ones in how she was talking. And how she was trying to put on airs of cosmic import. But yet, she acted also a little like she was working against what the others were up to. Old Miskimer. Yes! Good elemental. Now. Hungry, hungry trolls. Hello. And loot, and loot, and loot. And was that a note? A note. Excellent. Search for the 3 levers which open the gates. But watch out for the traps. Meet me in the Undercity when you have found what I am searching for, and don't tell anybody hereof. X. Okay. Did that start a quest? No? Alright. Oh, and he doesn't run away like my Mud Elemental did? Oh, you are the best, Soil Boy. Hello, Mr. Spooky Ghost. Oop, that is a lot of guys. But Okay. I have a feeling this might be a multiple trip dungeon. It's certainly starting to feel like it's going to be a multiple trip dungeon. In which case, we will probably finish off the dungeon later. Well, that's definitely a lever. That looks like a trap. But we made it through the trap. Starling necklace. Fireball, boon, arrows. All right. Oh yeah, this is already feeling like it's gonna be quite the place. Like I said, I might have to do this in a multi-trip exploration. Hey, buddy. I'll take Butcher Arc. I like how you're just kind of offering a hand to me. I know I'm pretty cool. That's just snow. So much happier to have him. They also have an interesting origin story, which depends if you ask them on the Starlings. Interesting. So if I say, hey, what about the... Ooh, okay, I see what's going. If I say, hey, what about the Starlings? They'll say one thing. And then if I don't ask them about the Starlings, they'll be like, oh yeah, this is this other origin story we'll tell you. Interesting. What if I can steal the soul of an ice elemental? Ah, answer, yes I can. Ow. Oh, there's a guy up there. Can I get up there easily? Yes, I can. Let's see. The Starlings think they're aliens from a place called Irdor, and that Vin was where the final battle against them was fought. Interest. That is different. But then again, I mean, the fact that their technology is so radically different kind of supports in some ways the idea that maybe, you know, they are actually aliens. Alright, so I've flicked all the levers. Oh. Okay. That's a magical pathway. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, hello, Mr. Spectre. Okay, so we've been through there. Slew those guys. So what do the Eterna think about themselves? Or the Starlings? If you happen to know off the top of your head. I think I've mapped out the main rooms. Yep, as we just have to go to before the artifact. Ow! Good work, boy. Nothing crazy. But I mean, money is money. Loot is loot. Bad lost one. Bad. Okay. The light does nothing. Let's see. The Eterna, they're created by a being called Asoteron, who was created by a magical anomaly. Appearance cycle ended. He created them, and humans became corrupt over time. Oh. That's a very different story. Did I not go through this little side tunnel before? The Brotherhood of Kor believed a version of the myth that with their interest. Ah, that's the Brotherhood of Kor with their crazy demon basement. With the with me not realizing need to drink the mysterious potion. I definitely was like, oh, a mysterious potion in the weird cultist lair. Let's not drink that. And then I kept drowning to death. So much drowning, so much to death. And then, let's see, the Starlings and the Eterna both believe that Asoteron eventually went off his meds and tried to destroy the universe. Well, you know, as one does. The Stars think he was Mad King, but the Eterna think he was like some sort of god, basically, I guess. Is that what they're differing on? This seems like the kind of place I might need a... Oh. Huh. Run or die. Ha 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 ha. I ran and I didn't die, everybody. Miskamer, hey buddy. Oh, I didn't go invincible in time. Oh, how far back am I? Ah, this is so bad. Let's see. The stars believe they are in Vin because they smashed the star of their homeworld into Vin. It's an attempt to stop them. You know, sometimes you just need to smash a starship or a star into your enemies. We all know that. Oops, sorry, buddy. Should be an ice dude over here. And there is... Alright, well now we know what we need to do. I'm a little upset this guy didn't slowly rise from his tomb so I could smack him. But I suppose after what I did to his buddy, it would be a little unfair. Go! There we go. That one much better. Yoink! Oh. Might be carrying too many swords again. Yeah, I'll drop some swords. Blook. Uh-oh. Well, there's that Pyrian artifact we wanted. The cube! Cubes are well known for being one of the most dangerous shapes in the world. Just think about the movie The Cube. Ooh. Pile of money. And a chest. For the potions. And is this a teleporting light, I wonder? And it was. Alright, so let's go hand this in for Ark, and I think this can finish our adventure for the day. Where's my Scrolls of Ark? Let's see. Starfall is a historical event that started the current calendar. It's the reason why Vin no longer has a single supercontinent. Oh. Oh. All right.
Can I help you?
Also, Butcher of Ark. Is the Butcher of Ark why there's not a single supercontinent? Is that what you're implying? Not sure how I feel about that.
Stop ignoring me.
That drunk really wants to pick a fight with me. And I don't know if I can talk to this guy at this hour. Nope.
Walk blessed.
Guess I have to wait till the morning.
Huh? What do you want?
First of all, let's throw in my new set items. Heart of the North. Boots of the Tribunal. And my Bloody Skulls. And that, and that. And that, and those. Ah, the cube. Look at that cube. It looks evil. But yeah, are you implying the Butcher of Ark has something to do with the lack of a supercontinent? Or perhaps this crazy god? Or do you just want to hear my dulcet tones read another chapter? Because if that's what it takes, I will read the 5th chapter. I mean, it's only 9:04 p.m. Ah, the Relata quest line. Yes.
Good evening.
But I want to read chapter 5 before I do that quest line. So that I am in the loop on this Quarian guy. So I guess, actually, we will make reading chapter 5 after I turn in this stuff and sell my loot at the end of the day. And then, next time, we can try to do the Rolana quest line. And maybe Esme will be a little more not sad. I mean, she's probably still going to be sad. You know, maybe less sad? Alright. Will Gaboff's place be open to be entered? But is he around? Gaboff!
Is it important?
I want to sell things to your husband. And it upsets me that he's not home.
Where did I put it?
I swear. There you are. Where did you sneak in from? Do you have like a secret basement?
Of course.
I'm suspicious about this guy. Alright, well, I've read these spell tomes. So we'll sell those. And I'll sell that. And that. And that. Alright.
Safe.
My friend.
An outlander? What are you doing? You're a foreigner, aren't you?
I've seen this fate. My wares it is you want to see. I promise you, they'll bring you glee.
From the Undercity become keepers. So much for tradition and values.
Whee! You know, I have to start figuring out what to put points into soon. I've almost maxed out my two-handed and my heavy armor.
Yes?
Hello. Walk blessed, my sir.
Where's the other guy? He's always here. No, but seriously, he's always here. What madness is filling the day? Alright, fine. Let's just turn in this item. Turn in the cube.
Huh? Can I help you?
This holy city. A mere
Oh, I need to go try and rob that thorium blueprint, too. Oh, things to do. Things to do.
Monsieur? Well,
Huh? Can I help you?
and you just have to live with it.
I hear the sound of the bread seller. Where am I going? Lost. Alright, here you are, buddy. I have the cube!
Show me. And again. Good work. I am honestly surprised, as is our employer. Our first replicas have been shipped to him recently, and he is very content regarding their quality, which is, to no small extent, your doing. Here. I think this should properly reward you for your efforts. Take your pick.
How about of the Clan Elder Guard? Ooh.
Good. It is a truly unique piece of craftsmanship. Take good care of it. Ah, and this should
I mean,
come
I'm
handy.
Chilean.
You've earned it. Now, in the name of our guild, it was a pleasure doing business with you. I will contact you if we once again require your services. Walk blessed.
$500. A shareholder. Ooh. Neat.
You don't know that. And screw. Ah. And did I forget to mention that we are the #1 supplier of the Holy Order in terms of metalware?
Alright, let's take a look at this thingamajig. There it is. The Halberd of the Clan Elder Guard. Undead up to level 25. Flee for 30 seconds. Fancy. I'm going to put that in my chest.
You're an Outlander, aren't you?
Ah!
I can tell.
Go away. Alright, well, with that said and done, let's read, shall we? Kalian. Now, so this will be... Because remember, this quest relates directly to the name of the quest in the Relata storyline. So, ooh. Perhaps, could this man be the father? Random guess out into the middle of anything. Alright. The man before me towered over me by half a head. His physique was athletic but not heavy. His eyes pitch black and sparkling. He It was his smile which grabbed my attention. It was peculiar and crooked, and it made me believe there was nothing that could impress this man. It was neither naive like the smile of a child, nor was it cynical like that of an old man who had seen too much. It did not compare to anything I knew. And there he was, and both of us looked absurd, me a thin, plain-looking man, kneeling over the dead body of a giant, my hands coated in blood, my face apathetic, the dagger lying forgotten next to my feet. Him, tall, handsome, dressed in elegant clothes, arms crossed, almost relaxed, observing me curiously. Suddenly I broke into loud laughter. I threw my head into my neck and simply laughed. I threw my head into my neck. I'm not sure I've encountered that expression before. And loud and resounding, the laughter of a man who was so overwhelmed by the situation he found himself in that his mind left him no other choice. I tried to get up, away from the body, but slipped as my hand slid over the blood-soaked floor. I landed back on the corpse lengthwise, feeling the still warm blood get sucked up by my clothes and turn a damp spot across my chest. You have not eaten up, it shot through my head. Bad Yale. Instead of, ooh, if you cooked them, you could have nice crispy pieces of meat, Yale. Instead of bringing me back to reality, the nonsensical thought fueled my laughter. I rolled on my stomach, rolled onto my back, clutched my stomach, and gasped for air. The man, whose name was unknown to me then, reacted in a similarly odd manner. First, he rubbed his chin with a thumb and index finger and furrowed his brow. He acted like a farmer whose sheep had started to bleat and jump around as if they had been bitten by their black guardian. Then he laughed as well. For me and my overwhelmed, confused mind, the situation became even more absurd. I could barely breathe as the laughter grew so strong that my lungs threatened to fail. Suddenly white-hot tears ran down my cheeks, and I heard a thud. My sight faded to black, and I lost consciousness. I woke up with a metallic taste in my mouth. My eyelids felt heavy, glued shut, and my sight was blurred when I managed to open them. I found myself in a forest, under a small ledge of a rock, surrounded by dark pine trees. Outside the shelter rain poured down. Only the fire, which burned about an arm's length away, kept me from feeling cold. I tried to turn my gaze so I could fully conceive my surroundings, but a biting pain exploded in the back of my head. I groaned and instinctively pressed my lips and eyelids together. "Good evening," a voice said nearby. Startled, I tried to look in the direction where the voice had come from, only to be punished by more severe pain. This time a cry escaped my mouth. The voice responded with laughter. I heard someone stand up and approach. A pair of boots entered my field of vision, then someone knelt by me. It was the beau. He was chin-long hair in a small bun on the top of his head, which would give him the look of an Arizalian monk if it were not for the elegant clothing. "I am sorry about the bump," he said with an apologetic smile. "I must have been exaggerated a little." I stared at him in confusion. My memories of the day before were pale and distant, slow to return. The tavern, the humiliation by the two brutes, my plan for revenge, the stable. The insight struck like lightning an old tree in a clearing. That should be probably struck like lightning in an old tree in a clearing. Oh. It definitely throws me off when the sentence isn't quite right. I had killed him, butchered him. I pressed my hands to my mouth, shivering all over despite the warmth of the fire. Every detail of last night's events re-entered my conscious thought with the force of a dropped anvil. How the brute had caught me in the act and dashed me to the ground. The pain when he kicked me over and over, the rising of blazing rage, the smacking sound of the dagger piercing his back, his bewildered face, his hoarse voice shakily begging for mercy, my frenzy, my satisfaction, my ecstasy, growing strong with every stab. Without any warning, I vomited on my clothes. I coughed and retched, tears rising in my eyes, slaughtered. You have slaughtered him. Again and again, the words repeated in my mind. I was so consumed by my thoughts that I entirely forgot about the existence of the man in front of me. Finally, when the memories of the night caught up to me, and I remembered the moment when I had lost consciousness, I proceeded to stare at him in disbelief once more. He had not moved an inch and was still kneeling in front of me. His lips smiled, but his black eyes were earnest, almost devout. Had he knocked me out? He must have, and had brought me here. But why? As if he had read the question in my eyes, he shook his head and pointed to a small bag next to the sleeping place. I looked at him with uncertainty, and his smile widened into a grin. What is it? You look at me as if I was Dalmeric's ghost. It's interesting, because Dalmeric is the person that we... Isn't Dalmeric the name of... No, that was Dalmercer. That was the name of the person that Tara was chasing after. I almost went off on a completely different tangent there. I still felt my tension ease a bit. Still, I was able to speak a word, whereupon the stranger pursed his lips. Have a look inside your bag, unless you don't mind decorating yourself with your own vomit. Hesitantly, I found his suggestion and found a large cloth embroidered in blue and white. I glanced at him, like a child who had received something it had never held in its hands before. His brow was knit together skeptically. Whatever it is, my behavior must seem odd to him. Does it really seem odd? After all, he was the one who had brought me here, and he knows what has happened. Grudgingly, I crossed my legs and began to wipe the remains of Whisper Tree resin I had consumed yesterday from my robe. The boy observed my movements attentively. When I was at least a little more presentable, he turned towards the dancing flames. There was something cooking over the fire. Drink. The bile made my mouth feel unpleasantly bitter, and my throat was dry as the dunes of the Pinnacle Desert. Briefly felt the pang of hunger, but the yesterday's events quashed it abruptly. The mysterious man ladled something from the kettle, and a faint breeze carried the scent of sugar and honey to my nose. He faced me again, a bruised cup in each hand? Okay. He gave me one and sat down on a tree stump. It has only been the first time. It's only that bad the first time. I flinched. Pardon me? Surely you understand me. For a moment his gaze went distant. Then he shook his head almost unnoticeably and refocused on me. But where are my manners? He knocked his fist against his chest, a military salute which seemed inappropriate to his person. I'm Galion. When I did not respond, he asked, And who are you? I was inclined to tell the man a false name, but decided against it. Yale Tennyson. Galion removed his glove, reached out to me, and shook his hand. His grip was warm and firm. So Yale, very pleased to meet you. He smiled and looked straight into my eyes without blinking. An awe of veneration ran down my spine. What a presence! Let's see, Dalmeric is a family name, but the contact is probably the guy who nuked Thalgard. Yes! I found Dalmeric's tomb! Speaking of Thalgard, but that was in Golden Frost, I believe. I haven't gone to Thalgard yet. I remember the woman who had sat next to him the other day in the tavern. Now understood why she had looked at him with such devotion. Uneasily, I lowered my head. I envied Kalion's appearance, his demeanor, and his endearing manners. Despite the thousands of questions running in my head, I could not help but like the stranger. Certainly not the first one to have this experience. He radiated a kind of venturesomeness that seemed powerful enough to tempt fate itself. Kalion withdrew his hand and took a sip of tea. Well, where do we start? I blinked helplessly. Start? With what? The questions, of course. Don't tell me you don't have any. He studied me. Or maybe I should start. Where do you come from, Yale? You do not look like a man of the world. I come from a small village, I replied carefully. When Kalian only raised an eyebrow, added, Fogville. Fogville, not a very exciting place. I've decided he's going to have that accent, and I'm gonna run with it. Now I was the one to raise my brow. You know Fogville? Kalian made a dismissive gesture. I stopped there once on a mission. You have a cozy tavern. Again that smile. And a few beautiful women. Yes, of course. What in the name of Malphus does that guy want from me? Yesterday he'd caught me in the act. He knows. And now we're verbally sparring like two hunters who had met in tavern over a mug of mead. I don't know if I'd call this verbally sparring, buddy. I decided to make a foray. Not of courage or bravery, because I could not bear the weight of the unspoken words anymore. Listen, Kalian. I felt a lump form in my throat and quickly drank some of the tea. It was so hot that I wondered how he'd been able to drink without burning his mouth. How did I get here? Another smile, lenient this time. I brought you here. He seemed to notice the irritated look on my face and added, After I struck you down, let's say you had difficulty coping with the situation. After a moment of silence, I took care of the bodies. Bodies. The word jolted me. Again I felt bile rising up at the back of my throat. And this time, however, I was able to suppress the urge to vomit. It only left with a terrible taste on my tongue. I covered my cough with a fist, shot an uncertain look at Kalian. He talks as all this perfectly normal. But it was not, damn it! I'd committed a crime, and even worse than the crime itself was the manner in which I'd committed it. I am a monster, a god-forsaken monster. As if he had read my mind, Kalian leaned forward. I know what you must think now, Yale. You feel guilty, don't you? You feel like a monster, or some such thing. I shifted in place, as I did my best to maintain eye contact, but I could not withstand, but ultimately I could not withstand the intensity of those black embers. I'm almost starting to ship these two. There's kind of the butcher here seems like he's developing a bit of a crush on this guy. I turned my gaze away. Kalian seemed to interpret that as agreement. Forget about that nonsense. What you did was the right thing. A sad laugh escaped my throat. The right thing? Yes, but wait. He rubbed his chin with his thumb and index finger and stared into the fire. Let me tell you a story, then you will understand. I nodded, superfluously, for he'd already started to narrate. Once there was a family, 5 people, a woman, her 2 husbands, and 2 children. He noticed the wrinkle appearing in my forehead. They came from Kira. For in Kira they lived differently, you know. There were only couples, but also people living in larger families, called circles. Anyway, he paused to bring the mug. That's also a typo. He paused to bring He-Mug to his lips. He-Mug. Ah, the new He-Man spin-off. This family was not a lucky one. One of the husbands, called Rashan, had just lost his job on the sugarcane plantation outside Al-Rashim, the capital. The wife, who worked as a weavess for a wealthy merchant, also lost her job when her employer was befallen by financial troubles. All in all, the situation at Al-Rashim was troublesome. The streets were dangerous. The flesh maggot plague was wreaking havoc on the population, and it was a bad time for people who lived in a circle with 2 children who had no pennies in their pockets. So he decided to find happiness elsewhere. His eyes wandered, staring past me. Towards a new world, a new life, and so... He turned towards me again. They spent the very last pennies on a journey to Enderal. However, when they arrived in Ark, they realized that life here was not at all as they had imagined. Even in the foreign quarter, prices were too high for them to afford. And none of them, except for one of the husbands, spoke Enderalian. Therefore, they had no choice but to move into the Undercity. I thought I saw melancholy lurk in those dark eyes. Do you know the Undercity, Yale? Aye, yes, I've heard of it. He gave a nod. Well, so you know that it's not a friendly place for families. The streets are dangerous, even more so than they were back in our regime. Blackmail and murder are commonplace. It is a slum, and the most ironic thing about it is that the fact that the cavern in which it was erected lies directly underneath the nobles' quarter of Ark, where the sublimes hold masquerade balls and philosophize about morals and ethics. With the last part of that sentence, rage flashed across Kalian's handsome features. The black holes of his eyes smoldered. He stayed there for a heartbeat, perhaps two, before disappearing as fast as it had arrived. Anyway, the small family moved into one of the shabby box-shaped homes in an alley called Canal Street. The street lived up to its name, stinking, dark, narrow. Although it was definitely not the new beginning the circle had envisioned, the three parents did not become discouraged. They had known there would be obstacles. They were determined to overcome them. Aside from that, their faith in Irlanda strengthened them. In the tiny house, instead of a single room divided into separate spaces by cloths, they erected a humble shrine. Every evening they prayed to their goddess and drew strength and courage from it. Indeed, things seemed to get better when Rashan was hired on a farm outside city walls. Now you might not understand how peculiar this was, but let me tell you, it is more likely that a Vatir learns to read and write than someone from the Undercity. And make matters worse, someone with dark skin finds decent, honest work with a farmer in the heartland. Rashan was aware of this, for he and his circle had learned that there were people who hated them because of their origin alone. And these were not merely the people from the upper city, even their neighbors shouted shag-arounds or gold people at them from the streets. For the world is like this, my friend. People are afraid of what they do not know. Families with multiple parents, Eterna, people with black skin, all foreign things are dangerous to them. Yet the child remained determined. Every morning he got up long before the first cock crowed and walked the arduous way to the farm where he worked. He returned long after the sun had set. Work was hard, but he was grateful for the opportunity to give his family, especially his two children, a better life. Kalian picked up a piece of firewood and threw it into the fire. But things turned out differently, of course. For among the noble people who live in Ark, there's a faction, because of the Citadel, that proclaims to be a bastion of traditional values, as they put it. I don't like where this is going. At some point, they got wind of a coal man who took away a hard-working, honest Enderalian's job on a farm. The Citadel's members knew what they had to do. This is going exactly where I worried. One night, when Rashad returned to his shed in Canal Street, he sensed that something was wrong. He was unable to put his finger on it. He just sensed like a mother could feel that something had befallen her son. What exactly had happened, he discovered upon entering his home. Everyone was dead. Both of his children, Lilia and Gero, his husband, Jashek, and his wife, Zamira. His children he found together in a corner, crouched together and wrapped up in a bloody cloth. They had cut Lilia's throat and Gero's thigh artery. So they just let them bleed out. That's terrible! I don't like these Citadel people anymore. Jashek appeared to have fought back, as he had several stab wounds on the chest, in addition to being beheaded. Zamira lay flat on the table, and the blood between her legs was clear evidence of what had been done to her before she had been killed. This is also terrible. Just as Rashan wanted to cry out, he felt a burning pain in his back and fell to the ground, dead. Kalian had narrated the last part of his story without blinking. Stunned and speechless, I gawked at him. Tell me, Yale, what do you think about my story? Do you like it? Is it true? I asked, for want of a better reply. Yes, it is true. I searched Kalian's face. for a hint of what to say, but found none. What in blazes does he expect from me? That's terrible. Kelly nodded. Exactly. And what would you say if I told you that the 2 men we killed yesterday were members of the Citadel? Pardon me? 2 apes who now lie dead at the bottom of a pond. I did not notice that he used the exact same word for them as I had in my thoughts. They were members of the Citadel. They murdered the family of the Caranian. All for the greater good, of course. Again, cold rage flickered in his eyes. I do not understand, I replied, even though I did. Kalian's eyes narrowed to slits. Oh yes, I think you do. Salbor and Edreo Mythal. They are sons of wealthy rulers from Enderal's north, and they are murderers. For a short, irrational moment I was flooded with triumphs. They had deserved to die. The corners of my mouth twitched, but then the terrible memories of the knife and pain and ecstasy returned. Memories of the joy I had felt when I stabbed the man, butchered him, the blood. But I was not aware of it, even if I stopped mid-sentence and cast my eyes to the ground. How could I in any way describe what I felt? For a while there was silence between us, just when I looked up. Refining my courage to ask a question, Killian did something unexpected. Before I knew what was happening, he was right in front of me, leaving only 2 hands' width between our faces. I would have flinched, but something in the man's gaze paralyzed. Are they going to kiss? I think they might kiss. Initially, the change in him failed to register, but then I saw it. His eyes were blazing. My first thought was that it was a reflection of the campfire. But then I realized that the fire burned behind Kalian. I knew that his eyes had indeed changed colors. They were like glowing coals, like candle wick, just before it was completely consumed by fire. His features had shed the joviality they had worn for the past 30 minutes. Then he began to speak quietly, but sound and clear. The tone of his voice sent shivers down my spine. The scum deserved to die, Yale. They were corrupted. He made no attempt to explain the last word. I was in the Red Ox because I was chosen to murder them. You had beaten me to it, and you have done me and the world a favor. I do not know where I found the strength to answer. But I did, even though my words were only whisper, like a deathbed confession. But I savored it. Disgust and self-loathing welled up in me once again. A dull fear, the burden of a man who was well aware he had done something terrible. My shoulders slumped, and I lowered my head as if it was Malphus, not Kalian, to whom I had just confessed the ecstasy during the murder. But Kalian did not allow me to get overwhelmed. He put his right hand on my shoulder, and with his left hand turned my face so I had to look directly at him. I know Yale. Do you know why? He did not give me any time to reply. For you have felt what they had done. You felt their crimes and their guilt, and the ecstasy was your reward for your courage. It was the nectar of their sins. I exhaled slowly, and from one moment to the next it was over. The glow in Kalian's eyes was gone. He sat back on the stump, and looking at his face, I was left to wonder if my mind had not played a trick on me. After a couple of minutes, I finally asked the crucial question without even knowing what I really wanted to ask. Why? But Kalian understood. Because you are special. Because the blood that runs your veins is the same as mine. As that as our brothers and sisters. I stared at him, baffled, for it had been the 12th time that day. My mental capacity was depleted, and I could not process yet another revelation of such weight. Brothers and sisters? I could not go any longer. My eyelids were leaden, my limbs faint and weak. Kalian seemed to notice. There is a long journey ahead of us. I will explain everything you need to know, but now, go to sleep. The glimmer I had seen in his eyes before made a subtle return. Dusk is nearing. The following morning, the both of us, as different as day and night, headed toward Ark, the legendary capital. He was well dressed, handsome and always confidently smiling. I was dressed in worn clothes, and had a hooked nose and the puzzled look of a man who had no idea what was happening to him. The first 2 days of our journey were terrible. I barely ate, and I frequently thought I could see blood on my hands or hear human death cries among the singing of birds. Even the silence did not calm me. Please, no. You might ask yourselves why I followed the strange man, but I cannot give you a clear answer to that question. Surely many things would have turned out differently if I had slipped away in the grey mist of the morning, but my exhaustion did allow me leave. I probably would not have left anyway, since Kalian's words had a hypnotic effect on me, which I was unable to explain to myself. It was the nectar of their sins. 1,000 questions haunted me. Nevertheless, the knowledge that the murder I had committed was a good and righteous deed served as a straw for my plagued mind to cling to. It was a peculiar feeling to have killed a man. Young soldiers and guardsmen have colourful dreams about honour and glory. When they fantasize about thrusting a sword into a pathless man's chest, they believe it to be a wondrous feeling. Even though the experience had been exactly that for me, the aftermath was not. My state shifted between an emotional paralysis and a lightning-fast epiphanies which filled me with guilt and disgust and overcame me with the force of an autumnal floods on the coast of Myar. In those moments one wonders if the killing can be justified at all. The more often you perform the act of killing, however, the fewer doubts you have. The coldness grows until the taking of life becomes trivial. Back then, though, this way of thinking was unfamiliar to me. On the first evening, Kalian offered me a bowl of hot, steaming oatmeal and blood-red wild berries in the light of a setting sun. My stomach recoiled even before I had eaten a spoonful. Did I notice a hint of guilty conscience in Kalian's eyes, or was it amusement? I did not know. We packed up belongings. I asked him about the meaning of yesterday's statement once more. He only shook his head and told me that the meaning of the fire could not be taught by conversation alone, just as swimming could not be learned by reading treatises about the consistency of water. On the third day, things started to get better. For the first time since I had met Kalian, I did not feel the weakening nausea every time I halted and allowed my thoughts to wander. Of course, my state of mind was far from joyful, but in an odd way I felt better than directly after my departure from Fogville. There was a simple reason for this. The fear was gone from my stomach. Or in better words, I felt as if I had appeased it, like a wild animal that had just had a good meal, knowing there was more to come. I am on the right path. How strange these words sound in my mind. So strange yet reassuring. As if I had glimpsed a light on the horizon, a light I should have been following all my life. My sense of guilt was starting to diminish as well. Even though there was no way for me to verify Kalian's story, I knew he must have told the truth. The arrogant faces, the vile voices. These two men had been evil, corrupted. More victims would have followed after Krishan's family. The more I thought on this, the stronger my conviction became. Killing them had been right, moral. While we were on the road, Kalian told me about a lot of other things, a great deal of them stories from his past. I learned that he hailed from Nerim, which explained his subtle accent. Yes, I have given him the most subtle of accents. He had grown up in Gahit, the capital of North Realm, just as the Middle Realm that fell under the rule of Chancellor Baratheon. But Kalian believed that a civil war between the Northern Separatists and the Chancellor was imminent within the next 10 years. His migration to Enderal had many reasons, and with a rejecting, albeit not harsh look, indicated that I was not yet ready to know about these chapters from his past. After a week's march, we arrived in Ark. I do not wish to waste ink with descriptions. I am certain the capital of Enderal is well known to you. You might imagine how overwhelmed I was by its sight. We first saw it from a small mountain ledge. I spent minutes watching the city bathing in the light of the setting sun. Impressive, isn't it? Kalian remarked in that subtle accent of his. I murmured something without turning my gaze. He let out a laugh. Indulge. Sometimes the first time is the best time. he said, and sat down on the edge of a cliff, a chasm of about 400 arms lengths deep. I watched him close his eyes and let the evening sun warm his face. Again I felt the envy's sting. If a young woman had come up the hill, she would have considered him to be the hero of a bard's song. But at the same time, I knew that Kalian was not showing off. He was simply enjoying the moment and the sunlight, an ability I had not developed in my life. It was already dark by the time we arrived at the gates and showed our papers to the city guards to request entrance. We pretended to be merchants from Erizale who had been put in as the harbor of Doonville due to unfavorable weather. After examining the papers quickly, the guardsmen allowed us enter the city. The heavy gate shut behind us, and the portcullis descended with a loud rattle, and lingering thoughts I might have still had about returning to my own life as a priest vanished. The first stop was a tavern called The Dancing Nomad. Kalian opened his bulging purse and invited me to a stew of sugar beets, crunchy Enderalian bread, and a very expensive beer from Kabit. We did not talk much. Instead, we listened to the music of a beautiful red-haired bard whose dark voice was in stark contrast to her fragile physique. She sang traditional tunes such as of the Song of the Aged Man, of the Wayward Wanderer, or the Maid in the Silver Glow. I averted my eyes and feigned great interest in my cleared plate when Kalian joined in with the last song in full voice. Only when I noticed that people did not object his good. I see what they're trying to go for. Sorry, it really throws me off when there's a missing word. So this is how it should read. Only when I noticed that people did not object to his good, but not brilliant singing, but began to sing along as well, my unfounded shame faded, became increasingly comfortable. We stayed in the tap-room until late. When only the 5 other guests were with us, I dared ask the burning question. The question which had burning on my lips. What now? Kalian's gaze met mine, and did not lower it until I directed mine towards the ground. Despite having spent a week in his company, his demeanor could still make me uneasy. I heard a sound which could have been muffled laughter, as well as a sigh, and I chanced to glance back up. Now we are going to sleep like logs, and tomorrow... His eyes sparkled for a moment. The first lesson awaits you. I had no idea what his words meant. The first lesson? He smiled. All right. Interesting. So you've read chapter 5. So I don't have chapter 6. So our reading of the story of the Butcher of Ark will have to wait. But this is very interesting, to be sure. With this, we're up to date. So we can go and do... There we are. Kalian's Last Smile. Theriel, my cunning line wants me in the district to plan our next step. Alright. So we have context. At least a little. And the plot is definitely deepening, so I like that. Kalian's exploits are recorded in a song of their own. Ooh, I might have to listen to that song. Would that be a little bit spoilery, do you think? We're also going to hit up the bank now, quickly. Bank is this way.
Some people just don't know their path.
It's the Night of the Raven. Okay. But would it be a little... Would it be like, should I do the... Kind of resolve it first and then listen to the music? Or would it be better to listen to the music and then it'll give me a bit more context and understanding and appreciation for when we continue the quest line? The darkest of the bard songs. Ooh, interesting. Yusa.
Walk blessed, my
there we are.
You do? Let me have a look. Very well, this looks solid. We will add any future gains from this holding to your vault.
Yay! How much do I have in my vault?
How may I be of service? Of course.
Here we are. I have 50. I'm stupidly rich now. I have 50 grand in my vault. I'm getting 250 pennies per day in interest. I'm getting an additional 17 pennies per day via my shares. I have 11 grand on me.
And don't forget, your money is safe with Sylvan and Frick.
I don't think I will need money ever again in this game. And yet, I still find myself stealing and all the bodies. I loot them.
Huh? Can I help you?
I'm going to upgrade my handicraft. 6 points. And if I can, more heavy armor. That's ridiculous. What, the amount of money I have in the bank? Is that true? Is it a ridiculous amount?
Everything for the path-abiding soldier.
I mean, you played the game. Shouldn't you have had a ridiculous amount of money too? Nope, gotta put that away to a proper place. Oops. That was not what I wanted to buy. I wanted heavy armor. And master crafting. 6 of those.
Come again.
And I still have items on me. Not sure quite what's weighing so much though. You could have been like, yeah, if you just loot and sell whatever you find, you should have been pretty rich too.
Yes?
Greetings. Sure, take a look.
Take a look. It's in a book. Cool. I'll have to look it up when I do the quest. We'll look up a bard, we'll listen to it, and then we'll do the adventure. It'll be fun. Sell that skull.
Walk.
What's weighing me down?
Bless.
50 pounds, I guess, is fine. Alright, we'll call it there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm enjoying things. It's just definitely still enjoying the game. It is impressive just how much went into this game, and the depths that they have gone to with these backgrounds, these storylines. Actually, I do want to sell a few more scrolls to you.
Sure, take a look.
There we go. Those scrolls. Yeah, we're going to sell all of my common gems. Alright, we'll call it there. We've got some quests done. Yeah, no, I'm pleased about things. I might do this off screen, just go kill that horrible monster. Ah, the Vatir's there. I've been there before. Would be no real issue for me to head back to it. Alright, cool. Talk to you all later.